So, everybody thinks that we're rushing to get married, right?
Nah, don't be silly. What could possibly go wrong? Apart from never having met each other, not knowing if they have sexual chemistry, the serious medical conditions, the cheating, the unexplained disappearances, the other women, the different language, not having a job, leaving behind her kids, moving to a country she's never been to.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy for giving up everything and moving to Colombia to be with a woman I've never met. Maybe they're right. Maybe I am. I don't care.
Nah, nothing to worry about at all.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
This is going to be fun to watch. So let's rewind back to the start of this episode. So after last week learning about all of the red flags in their relationship, we join them in this episode the night before Kris is due to move out to Colombia for good.
Tomorrow is the big day that I get to move to Bogota, Colombia. I can't wait.
And after 1 whole year of being in communication, both ladies seem very excited about the prospect of finally being able to meet in person.
I'm so happy for you and touch you and say, I love you.
Easy there, Tiger. Arr! She can't wait to get stuck in, can she? But as positive as that sounds, individually, both ladies admit they're actually quite nervous. You see, having never met in person before, literally anything could be possible.
All is possibility. All.
Maybe she look at me and say, oh my God, she is so short. Maybe she now feel comfortable here.
Or perhaps they might meet up in person and realise they have no physical attraction for one another.
I am completely terrified at whether our sexual chemistry is going to be great or not.
Which raises the question, if there are so many unknowns, why are they so eager? Why are they rushing to get married so soon?
We are planning to be married 9 days after I arrived there.
Well, the truth is we don't really get an answer to that question. We know that both have only relatively recently come out as being gay. Both might be making up for lost time, so to speak, eager to embrace their new lives.
No more waiting. No more waiting.
They both seem very sure that they've found the one. They've found the love of their lives.
You're my heart.
soulmate.
My soulmate.
And as Kris admits to her family on the way to the airport the next morning, she's ready for a new chapter in her life. But that doesn't mean she's not worried.
I'm ready to have a new adventure, even though I'm going with excitement. You know how scary it is to be dependent on somebody else that I've never met in person?
And the closer they get to the airport, the more Kris's nerves become evident. She begins questioning whether she's making the right decision and how she'll be able to cope without her children and her mother.
Feeling sad about leaving you guys and wondering if I'm doing the right thing or not.
Is it excitement or fear or all of the above?
All of the above.
All of the above.
And adding to Kris's nerves are the fact that this will be the first time she's ever left the country. She's moving from a small town to a large city, a city in which she doesn't even talk the language. Talk about jumping in head first. Most people probably would have gone there on vacation first, before committing to moving there permanently. But Kris isn't most people. In fact, there's one other very big thing that she's worried about. Something that most people have never experienced before.
You never know what could happen when you're face to face with each other. My narcolepsy, it's a lot for anybody to handle. I am completely terrified.
Kris's narcolepsy is a very serious medical condition. It means that she has trouble staying awake. 1 minute she could be having a conversation with you, and all of a sudden, within seconds, she could be asleep.
Sometimes she have in the video call the narcolepsy, she sleep, talk to me, is literally here and say, oh my God.
It's one thing experiencing it on a video call, but how will Jeymi cope with it when Kris is there in front of her face to face? It's a worry. It's one of many worries, and understandably, Kris's children are very, very concerned.
She doesn't have anyone really to fall back on. If she gets into any trouble or if something doesn't go right and she really needs someone, there's no one there for her.
She's leaving her home, she's leaving her family, so I definitely hope Jeymi is worth it.
Is Jeymi worth it? Well, time will certainly tell, but to say there aren't a few question marks would be a lie. For example, in anticipation of meeting Kris for the first time later today, we join Jeymi as she goes for a makeover.
This is my moment. She look at me for first time. I need to impress her and say, oh my God, she is beautiful. Yes, she is.
Responsible for Jeymi's hair and makeup are two of her close friends. Now, these aren't just the sorts of friends she meets at the salon now and again. These are friends she's known for 15 years, whose families she's also close to.
I met Alex 15 years ago and actually met Alex when I trained his sister, and he introduced me to Leo. The three of us has been friends ever since.
Now, the concerning thing here is that neither of these two close friends of hers have never even heard about her fiancé's existence. The fact that she's engaged, soon to be married, comes as a shock to both of them.
Hoy llega mi pareja y quiero sorprenderla.
¿Cómo así, pareja?
Pues es un cuento largo.
¿De Estados Unidos me dices?
Viene a vivir y a casarse.
No, ¿en serio?
¿Qué?
Understandably, her friends quiz her about Kris. How do you know that you love her, they ask. Well, I feel butterflies when I talk to her, is Jeymi's answer. And while she maintains that she knows for sure that Kris is the one, there is one thing that worries her.
La narcolepsia, mucho, me preocupa, mucho, mucho, mucho.
Mucho, mucho, mucho. You don't have to be fluent in Spanish to know that's a lot. And look, I'm not saying it's not understandable. Of course it is. Anyone would be concerned. But it does lead me to question, if you acknowledge it to be a concern, if you know it's going to impact your life and you're not sure how you're going to deal with it, if you can deal with it, why are you jumping into a marriage within days of first meeting?
Ese tema ya teniéndolo cerca.
Es complicado porque no sé cómo pueda reaccionar en ciertas cosas. O sea, yo no sé hasta qué punto ella se queda dormida. Esa parte es muy complicada. Obviamente, no todo es perfecto.
Clearly, not everything is perfect. So tell me, say her friends, is there anything else you're concerned about? And just like that, one by one, Jeymi's fears start to surface. Firstly, we fight over the phone, says Jeymi. Then there's her disappearances. She's disappeared numerous times, each time for longer and longer periods. And as a result of her disappearances, there was also that time where I started talking to another woman.
Esa tercera vez yo dije no más. Y conseguí a otra persona. Busqué a otra persona y comencé a hablar con otra persona.
Pero infiel, ¿cómo?
Wait, you cheated? Asks her friend. Well, kind of. It kind of depends on how you define cheating, is her response.
Depende de lo que la definición de infidelidad.
La infidelidad es desde que mandas el primer mensaje, Jeymi.
Bueno, es que no me estoy justificando, pero realmente eso fue lo que pasó, o sea.
Okay, well, yeah, in that case I cheated. It is what it is. I can't justify it, it is what it is. It's a pretty blunt, matter-of-fact response. No real sympathy. But then, listen to this. This is where it starts to get interesting. In the last episode, she told us that she had only spoken to this other mystery woman for 1 month. Now she's changing her tune.
¿Cuánto tiempo duraron hablando?
Fueron como 2 meses, voy
¿Y
a
de esa otra
decirle.
persona te enamoraste?
No.
Just like that, the time period has doubled. Don't be surprised if the number of women she's cheated with doubled too. You might remember how in the last video I pointed out that her friends mention a mysterious Puerto Rican woman. Kris only knows about a Texan woman. All this to say, there's definitely some questions.
Una pregunta, que el matrimonio es para toda la vida.
¿Estás preparada?
Tienes que estar segura.
Yes. Estoy muy segura.
Yes, she says, as her friend looks on blankly. I'm not sure that he necessarily believes her. And privately, he says what I think we're all thinking.
Pues feliz por ella, ¿no? Pero tengo tanto nervio. Yo creo que sería mejor que pospusieran la boda para que se conocieran más.
I think Leo on the right hand side also agrees. That's the look of someone who's thinking, I can't believe you just said that out loud, but secretly believes the same thing himself. It's interesting how everyone who hears about Kris and Jeymi's story, whether that's Kris's family or Jeymi's friends, they all have their reservations. But that doesn't seem to concern Kris or Jeymi. They love each other, and for now, until they meet, that's all that matters.